Hey everybody, my name is Randy and this is my case study on the Lean Sandwich Shop. Starting with our problem statement, over the past 12 months, Lean Sandwich Shop has scrapped 10% of their sandwiches, which has cost us over $120,000 in labor and scrap product. This issue on quality then spills over into productivity. As you can see, we have an average of 21,840 sandwiches fail customer satisfaction, and at $5.50, that's over $120,000. So for our goal, if we can reduce our scrap rate from 10% down to 2%, we'd save just over $96,000. Starting with quality, our defects per million opportunities for our current case is at 60 defects per day, which is 100,000 DPMO. If we can reduce that by 80%, that'll give us 12 defects per day at 20,000 DPMO. So going on to standardized work, that will help solve some of our top reasons for a sandwich remake, which were wrong dressing, spoiled dressings, and or wrong toppings. We saw that we had manual time observations for step number 5, the toasting sandwich, and for being the most automated step for our whole process, that one still showed variability in the task being performed and the amount of time it takes. So if there is variability in our most automated step, then there's definitely variation in every step. So developing a guide for each process, such as how many slices of meat for each sandwich, how many times you pass over with the dressings on each sandwich, all that will help slim out the variation if we have a standardized step guide of how much dressing or how much toppings to put. If we can implement standardized work with our training, you can also have the versatility matrix, and that builds flexibility and cross-training both for new employees and the more veteran employees. So once every employee can get at least 75% of their tasks being competent with all those tasks, then everything should become a lot more stable and predictable. So the current process, we have 12 employees staffed to manage 600 sandwiches per day on average. And it takes 10 minutes from the point of order to point of delivery. And that gives us a TPH of 5. TPH of 5 isn't a bad thing by itself, but considering our store is getting backed up on orders and delivering cold sandwiches, a higher throughput will help us. The optimal number of employees to support 600 sandwiches per day is 10 employees with the given task flow. That's 600 seconds of process time divided by 60-second takt time. So we are currently generous with our suffer buffer mentality because we have 12 employees. Now, if we can shorten our total manual process time, we can handle more variety in the daily customer demand. Our work culmination chart can help us see the value added work and where there may be waste. In this chart, we see 144 seconds are spent waiting or talking, or otherwise just non-value added tasks are being performed. So thankfully, this time can be spent adding value to the customer and the process. Training can help iron out variation in our other steps, but in step 5 is where we can make drastic change in our workflow. We can eliminate waste from step 5, which was 144 seconds of waiting, and use that time in step 4, which step 4 takes 120 seconds of task time. And I just want to note that each task is equal or less than the takt time. For step 1, with 2 employees, it takes 60 seconds. Step 2 takes 15 seconds. Step 3, with 2 employees, takes 45 seconds. Step 4 is done with step 5 employees. And step 5 has 3 employees, bringing our task time to 55 seconds. 6 has 1 employee, which is 60 seconds, and step 7 has 1 employee as well for 30 seconds. So it's 10 total employees, which was our ideal staffing situation. But now we've also shortened our total process time, and that gives us a new set of ideal staffing. But we've met our expected number of associates while also reducing the total process time, helping our mantra suffer or buffer. Our TPH is now up from 5 to 6. Again, the higher the throughput, the more stable and predictable the process. So now with a shorter total manual process time, our optimal number of employees has decreased from 10 to 8 employees. But by keeping the 10 employees on shift and having buffer, we should be able to address another top reason for a redo order, cold sandwich. Now we've addressed most of our redo orders. According to our Pareto analysis, those reasons listed were about 84.8% of all sandwiches resubmitted for a redo. So hopefully we've solved 84.8% of our faults, and if our target reduction of 80% is met, then we can expect these savings. Increasing TPH from 5 to 6 will decrease our labor hours needed and help save over $109,000 annually from labor and productivity improvement. Decreasing our DPMO by the targeted 80% will save $48,922 annually. And I just want to highlight, like a professor said at the beginning, people are our greatest asset. In keeping our employment at 10, which is above the recommended 8 employees, we should have enough buffer to keep staff happy and avoid burnout in an industry that has waves of highs and lows in demand. And that's my case. Thanks.